Live in Wisconsin, we have Court TV anchor Ted Rowlands bringing us the very latest. And live in Brunswick, Georgia, we have Court TV legal correspondent Julia Janae, who we'll get to in just a moment. Ted, great to see you. Walk us through, please, how we got to the final panel that's deliberating the case right now there.
Well, this morning, the 18 members of the jury that were on the panel arrived at the courthouse here in Kenosha County, and that's when they got out the old drum. The wheel. They put the numbers of the. It was very dramatic, and they put the numbers of each of these jurors in, and then Kyle Rittenhouse, and they brought it over to Kyle Rittenhouse in a Hunger Gamesy kind of moment of picking out the 6 people that would not participate. So he basically picked the alternates out. The 12 then went out to start the deliberation process, and then the other 6 are being held at the courthouse here. A lot of times they'll tell alternates, don't talk about the case, go home, keep your cell phone next to you. If we need you, we'll call you to come back to the courthouse. They're actually keeping the alternates here during the deliberation process in a separate room. But, the other 12 are now at it, and they have begun that process in a couple hours. There was one development this morning. The jury asked for 11 extra copies of the jury instructions. So if I'm the state, that's a good sign. It means that they are going through the law, and they are going through it in a fashion that everyone has their own copy. That's what I would take away from it. And that's all we've heard so far from this jury.
Ted, thank you so much for that. I also understand that outside of the courthouse, probably pretty close to where you are, is Jacob Blake's uncle, Justin Blake. Jacob Blake, of course, the police-involved shooting of him became the catalyst for those protests in Kenosha, as you know, Ted, and our viewers know who've been following this case closely. What has his uncle had to say, if you know, please?
Well, he's been a mainstay here. There have been crowds. A couple days, there have been very few people. Every day, Mr. Blake has been here every single day and coming in and out. He talks to anyone who will talk to him, and he is there. He says for Jacob, he gives updates on it, and he's very opinionated. I know we talked to him. We'll take a listen.
There was some stuff said that should help iron this stuff out. They were given directives, if they follow and look at the videos, please discard all the sideshow stuff. Focus on the video. Focus on the sequence of things happening, and they'll find out this guy is guilty as hell. He's a clown. He tried to put on a clown show. He should have gotten an award. But the award we got for him is that jersey with all the numbers across the chest and a free ride for 40 years. That's what we got for his little act and performance. When you talk about, he's trying to make it seem he was the victim. Stop it. Listen, on the south side of Chicago, I'm from there. Nobody wants to fight somebody with an AR-15. I fought all over the streets when I was a kid, believe me, you. And nobody wants to confront somebody with an AR-15 unless there's something really going on. Why would these young men approach him if they didn't call him a shooter? He was a shooter. So you try to approach somebody to stop and muffle the harm that could happen to others. These guys were heroes, and they're going to get justice today. They're cowards. They're guys in a pinch position, and they're going to say and do anything they can to get their client off. It's ridiculous. Our nephew was a victim. These 2 guys were victims. Our nephew was shot in the back. These guys were shot in the one of the guys was shot in the back. It's time for the Americans to take a good look at themselves. We can't keep going forward like this. African Americans helped build the richest country in the world through slavery. We shouldn't be questioned about whether we can vote. We shouldn't be questioned about our civil rights and liberty. We shouldn't be attacked by police officers that we're paying their salary. So we really are at a transformative stage. It's a historical time.
And Julie, you could see outside, Julie, the courthouse too, there's a pretty good group of people out there with some signs. And what is interesting, typically in situations like that, you have one side sort of on one corner and the other side on another corner. Here, they're standing right next to each other for hours. And, sometimes they are barking back and forth. Sometimes they're just staring at each other. But it's just a strange scenario taking place here. And of course, the backdrop is there are a lot of eyeballs here. The Wisconsin National Guard has been activated. They are at an off-site location staging just in case.
Right, Ted. And as you mentioned, of course, there are supporters of Kyle Rittenhouse, some that want to be outspoken. We caught up with some of them, and we have a clip now we want to share.
I was actually here at the first night of the riots before Kyle came out. It was August 24th of last year, and I was sitting right here on the steps and caught all the stuff of the cops getting harassed, and I went downtown and caught Bob getting harassed. And what's weird is I was kind of in that situation because people wanted to beat me up all over my sign. My sign said "Back the Blue," and about 20 people over here tried to jump me because of my sign. So I know Kyle was in a situation where his life was threatened, because if they were going to come after me over a sign, I guarantee you they came after him over the gun. This is my third time of being out front of the courthouse protesting. I was here the first day, and then I was here yesterday.
What did you think of the closing arguments?
They were pretty passionate. There were a few lies in there from the prosecution, but glad it's done and over with, and we're moving forward, and I'm hoping that they get to a verdict today so there can be peace with the city healing and everything.
What did you think of Kyle's testimony?
It was very heartfelt. It grabbed my heart because I'm a mother, and to see him and his mother on the stand crying, it really hurt my soul, because I feel like this is being blown out of the water for political reasons, and so if it wasn't, it wouldn't even be to this point.
All right there. So again, as you said, Ted, this case, it's very divisive. We know polarizing from the outset. So no surprise you see different factions there, but good to hear they're getting along, as you pointed out. And I wanted to ask you, please, about the members of the jury. We got word that they were asking for something to help assist them in their deliberations since they went back to the room. What can you share with us about that, please?
Yeah, this was a separate copy for each of the jurors of the jury instructions. So, they're sent back with one copy, and they asked Judge Schrader, can we get 11 more, please? Meaning they're going through it, or they're going through the law. And one would have to opine that that has to be a good sign for the state, because if you follow the law, you can get to the charges that they want. And they spent a lot of time, both sides did, but I would argue that the state spent more time giving jurors a potential avenue. And if they've each got a copy and they're going through it, I think one thing is clear: who's ever the foreperson is taking a methodical approach.
Right, most definitely. Ted Rowland, so great to have your insight from the courthouse there. Thank you for all of that.